As of recently, I've been getting a lot of emails and comments in regards to the initial video I did on the Schecter Hellraiser C6 baritone. And through one of those interactions, I was compelled to make a second video after discovering that a claim that was made by this person about a curvature taking place on the tailpiece of their guitar, I realized it was taking place on mine as well. And I felt obligated to let other people know about it after I initially made a video promoting this instrument. And since then, there's been a lot of people that have been curious if I've been able to find out any further information about how to move forward with getting a replacement part. Have I heard anything from Tone Pros or from Schecter? What is the deal? Good afternoon, everyone. How's it going? I'm Miles, if you're new here. This is really just kind of like an update video, an update to an update video, essentially. Because previously I was talking about the guitar from the company Schecter, their model, the Hellraiser C6. It's their like bass 6 baritone scale model. And that more recent video that I made regarding that guitar was talking about a flaw in the design of the tailpiece and how the tension from the strings were forcing the actual metal to bend in a arch manner over time. And so I wanted to reach out to the companies and see about which bridge and tailpiece I should get to go about replacing the pieces on my guitar that were starting to bend. And really the whole situation was kind of crazy in how it turned out towards the end of things, because it turned out differently than I anticipated. But before we get into all of that, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, because it's free. It helps the channel out. It helps gets these videos out to more people. And did I mention it's free? So if you could do that, that'd be great. Thanks. I felt obligated to make a follow-up video from the original video because I was promoting the guitar as an instrument that's like worthwhile and is really good and doesn't have any problems and all this stuff. I also learned from that original video that Schecter wires their guitars with the bridge volume as the first one in a row of 3. So you have bridge, then neck, and then tone. But that's another discussion for another time. Anyway, I wanted people to know about this issue if they weren't already aware of it. And I wanted to kind of like keep people posted on how it was going to be for me to go about finding a replacement part and then try to report the details of what replacement parts I got and from where. Although that seems to be the case with a lot of companies, because I remember I had emailed Digitech, or whatever company is behind Digitech at this point, like months ago. Never heard a word back. Nothing. And this was back in February, like end of January, beginning of February, some around that time period. But I reached out to Schecter initially because I figure they have the means to communicate with the other companies that they're using products from for their instruments, like EMG, Tone Pros, Floyd Rose, etc. And I got a timely response. However, it wasn't really the response that I was looking for. Basically, I was assured that the issue that I was dealing with my guitar wasn't an actual issue, and it's something that's been going on since the 50s. Which, like, no. And if it is, why isn't anyone trying to fix it? Like, for example, if you have a guitar that has a Floyd Rose bridge on it, that means that you're locking the strings into the bridge, but also at the top of the nut, at the top of the neck of the guitar. And sometimes you're storing your guitar somewhere where it's cold, the green room door is open at the bar or venue that you're playing at, and then you got to make some quick adjustments by unlocking the screws at the top of the neck. And sometimes it's a pain to have that Allen wrench that fits that available to you in that moment, whether you just got up on stage or you're about to. And so a company found a solution and made a little Allen wrench that sits on the back of the headstock. It uses a magnet. So, like, when you're done with it, it just sticks back on there, and then you have it for whenever you need it. That's a solution. That's an effort towards the right direction. But the idea of being a company, being contacted by a customer who bought one of your products, and they tell you that there's an issue with the product, assuring them as a response that like what they see as an issue isn't actually an issue, without giving any sort of like real like explanation to back it up aside from like, this has just been going on forever. I feel like that's dropping the ball. I feel like it doesn't really serve anyone. Like, it reminds me of my old Honda Accord. There was a transmission issue with that car, and so I'd have to bring it to Honda specifically to get the transmission repaired multiple times. I believe I did it 3 times. The second time that I brought it in, because for those who don't know, replacing a transmission in a car, it's not cheap. It's not something you can just go and do, like getting a new tire for one of your wheels on your car. After the second time I had to get the transmission replaced, I asked, why does this keep happening? What's the issue that's causing this issue? And the guy at Honda told me, oh, that year of Honda Accord that you have, it was a bad year. What? But in any case, after I got that response from the representative of Schecter, I decided the next best way to go would be to reach out to the company that makes the bridges for the guitar in question. And that company is the company Tone Pros. For those who don't know, the company Tone Pros, they make replacement Tune-o-matic style bridges. And usually they have upgrades attached to them, like saddles that keep the strings from breaking at the saddle, like at the bridge, and things like that. It's very similar to what you would get with the company FU Tone, which in this case, the FU stands for Floyd Upgrade, where you're getting upgrades for a Floyd Rose style bridge. I think they have their own that they market on their website. And I shop with them all the time because their stuff is great. You get titanium saddles and bridge screws and things like that. Basically, Tone Pros is doing the same thing. And so I reached out to them, and I got an answer back relatively quickly, asking that I supply pictures of the bridge in question, just showing where the bending is taking place and whatnot. And they saw those pictures, and they wanted to know further details about the bridge, the tailpiece specifically, if it had Allen screws connecting it to the poles on the body of the guitar. And yes, it does. And then I didn't hear anything. There was no response after that. I figured they were just like, oh, if we ignore them, we'll go away. But then, towards the end of March, I get a response back from somebody. And apparently there was a whole thing that was going on. My email got mixed up with some other emails, and I think someone had a similar issue that they took care of it, and mistook that person for me. In any case, they reached back out, apologizing for the delay in response or whatever, which, like, I'm fine. I'm just glad you got back to me. And from there, they asked for my shipping address and let me know when it was being shipped out. So great. And so I ended up getting the bridge, but not just the tailpiece. The guys at Tone Pros sent me an entire new bridge, which was completely unexpected, but also really cool. And so for that, I have to give a big thanks to James from Tone Pros for hearing out my issue, trying everything that you could to make everything right. You truly did. You're the man. Thank you. And so from there, I just took it upon myself to put the new bridge on the guitar. And I even took the time to even clean my guitar because I haven't been doing that between live streams that I've been doing. I've just been kind of getting up from this chair and being thankful to stand after 3.5 hours. Which, by the way, if you don't know, I live stream on TikTok. I do that every Tuesday and Thursday at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just figured I'd throw that in there and let you guys know. If you're on TikTok, you should come hang out. But here's the final product. So this particular tailpiece, the new one, it feels like it's more sturdy than the other one. And it's locked securely into place. It's still got the Allen screws on either side. And I put new strings on, and I've been good to go ever since. I haven't had any issues. So the conclusion that I drew from this video is that if you need to reach out with the same issue that I had with this particular model guitar, I would advise you to reach out directly to Tone Pros, as they will more than likely be the ones that'll be able to help you. I unfortunately can't say that Schecter is the first company to kind of just like drop the ball on even trying to direct me in a new direction towards the solution to a problem with one of their products. There's countless companies that do this sort of thing because they don't see you as I'm assuming they don't see it as important enough to get back to. Because worst case scenario, you'll just go on Sweetwater and buy a replacement bridge with no sense of the dimensions and size of the bridge and whether or not it's going to fit your guitar comfortably, accurately. I also disagree with the notion that if the tailpiece is curving up because it's being pulled up by string tension, that's not going to cause any issue further down the line as far as how the instrument plays. I believe it was that second video that I made that there was someone in the comments, like some boomer dad, who was like trying to talk down to me about how they've spent all this time working on guitars and things like this. And it's like, okay, well, maybe what you were dealing with back then was inadequate, but it was the best that you had at the time. And maybe you don't know everything. I think they were also calling me boy in the comments, so that was fun. But yeah, I think that within reason, you should be able to reach out to the manufacturers that are making these products that you're purchasing and get some sort of answer back, or at least be given like some companies, they'll do where they get contacted by you and then you get a response email with a ticket number, implying that when it gets up to your number, they're going to get to you. And I understand these are big companies that distribute all over the world, and that's a lot of customers, it's a lot of people. But I think that you can't be selective in terms of who is reaching out to you as far as needs as a customer, because if you want to keep them as a customer, they should feel like they have someone there to help them when they have a problem. Otherwise, you're just as bad as a company like Meta. I've had issues with the functionality of my Instagram account for me and for my band for I don't know how long. I don't know how long it's been. I've reached out. I even tried doing the verified thing, and that didn't do anything. And so, yeah, don't be Meta. Don't be Meta. I think that's the moral of that story. Don't be Meta. But that's all I really got for you guys for today. I hope that you found this video to be interesting and informative, especially if you have a Hellraiser C6. And obviously, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below, or shoot me an email, or find me on Instagram. That works too. Again, big shout out to Tone Pros for making this video possible. And thank you guys for, helping make this into a little community of people that feel comfortable reaching out on videos that I make on this channel. I won't bother with the Patreon plug for today. If you have the means to do so and you want to, there's a link down below. But again, I will say, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button because those are free. We can't forget that those are free. But that's all I got for you guys for now. I'll see you in the next video. I got a couple projects that are in the works. That's why I've been kind of flaky with getting stuff done. But it's going to be good. It's going to be good. And I hope you'll stick around to see what's to come. Stay safe. It's late right now. It's like 12:30. Yeah, stay safe. Drink water. Get some sleep. And don't sit for too long. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.